Are you stuck at home in lockdown? Yeah, I know, we all are. Don't worry, we've got you covered because it's time once again for Live at Night with PeteFerraro.
Don't you want to be like, I don't give a shit?
Send me your address. I'll be happy to send you a copy.
Oh, excellent! Yeah.
That's awesome. Okay, and so and I paid for it, so that's just lovely. No.
I'm on. Okay, what's that? I'm live at night.
Where whatever happens, happens. Now, along with his special guests, here's your host, PeteFerraro.
You playing hard to get, Mike?
You can leave it. You can leave it on for the start of this thing.
Yeah. Just in case.
Yeah, somebody sneezes.
Not you. You can't do a Joe Biden.
No. All right, let's see. I think
It also keeps us from biting people too, like Joe Biden. Or sniffing them.
Yeah.
I think we're here. Let's see.
It says live. I don't know.
No, I see it. I'm just like, okay. I'm gonna lower this. Okay. Hey everybody, we are live at night again, and I've got some friends here, and we are going to be doing a tour, a New Jersey food tour. Now, I know you guys have all been busy doing nothing. And we've got Chef Mike Carrino, who is social distancing, yes?
Something like that.
Yeah. All right, so why don't you guys all introduce yourselves, because I don't like introducing people, and we'll kind of go from there. Starting with Mangia.
Okay. My name is Anthony Shilia, better known as Tony Mangia, and I love to eat. You see that bonzette? I got the bonzette.
Hot.
And Gennaro.
Gennaro Pecchia. I'm a Jersey guy. I'm in New York a lot. And I love these guys around here tonight, so that's why I'm on here. I suck at technology, so the phone drops or whatever, it's my fault.
Okay. And also just joined us is Lisa Marie Latino from Hip, New Jersey. So she's going to join us as well on this, yeah?
Hey, guys. Hi, Peter. How is everyone feeling out there?
I'm more upset now about this going to April 30th. You know, that's stressful, right?
Yeah, it's a little stressful. I'm dealing with, so for the past 5 days, I can't taste or smell.
Oh, well, that is a symptom of the coronavirus.
I know, but that is my only symptom. So I'm hoping that it's just allergies. But right before I came on, I was telling you, Peter, I was actually sleeping because my sinuses are killing me right now. So I'm hoping that I can clear this hurdle and, get back to normal soon, because quarantine life is very boring when you can't taste your food.
Yeah.
Lisa, do you want Mike's mask? Just in case.
Mike's mask? What's Mike's
mask? Look, Chef Mike Carrino is wearing his social distancing mask. I don't know if you saw that. Yeah.
If it's heavily disinfected, sure.
Probably not.
And then we have Chef Mike Carrino who's with us as well. Go ahead, you can introduce yourself.
Chef Mike Carrino, better known as Chef Mike Carrino. And since I'm not cooking, I'm here to talk about food.
All right,
Mike,
cool.
I just read all about you today in the papers. You're famous.
Good things or bad things?
No, good things. With the
And they're all true.
Yeah, that's kudos to you. I didn't know you were going to be on here tonight. So nice to meet you.
Thank you. What did you read? The NewJersey.com thing with
NewJersey.com, yeah.
Cool.
What did it say? Why we're here? Yeah.
No, I'll let Mike take it away because he knows more than me, obviously.
So, I mean, I think everybody knows that Ani Ramen has been doing a lot with food donations in the last few weeks.
Uh-huh.
And so we teamed up with them last week, and we did a whole bunch. We did sandwich donations to Claremont Hospital, and then we did first responders to Nutley Fire, Police, EMS, Montclair Fire, Police, EMS, Harrison Fire, Belleville Police, and Clifton Police. And then starting tomorrow, we're going to be doing Salvation Army, St. Joseph's Children's Hospital, Claremont Hospital again, and Nutley Family Service Bureau.
Dude, that's amazing. That's really great work, man. That's so, good shit.
We're fortunate enough to still be able to be operating. So, whatever we can do to help, we're doing it. So.
Yeah.
And everything that we're bringing in donations, we're matching. So.
Mike, how
Damn.
can we donate to that?
Yeah.
Again.
How can we donate to that?
You know, we're in the process. We're trying to set up a Venmo for the shop, for the pasta shop. Right now, people are just calling in with their credit cards, and we're taking it that way. But probably by the end of the week, so long as we're still rolling, we're going to have a Venmo set up specifically for this, and 100% of it goes just to food purchases. And like I said, we match everything that comes in.
And
That's
just yeah, that's awesome. But like for you guys, Gennaro, I mean, I think all four of us, probably five of us, are all sort of social oriented people. I know, Mike, you're in the we were in the restaurant all the time. You're in the shop all the time and stuff like that. And I know, Tony, you're always out to eat, and Lisa Marie, I know you're always kind of being social. This is a challenge for all of us, isn't it?
Yep.
Oh, big time.
Yeah. Talk to me. Go ahead, Lisa.
Definitely a challenge. You know, I pride myself on being a social butterfly, and my wings have been clipped.
Same.
I haven't driven my car. It's unheard of that I have not been in the car for 2 weeks tomorrow.
Yeah. That's
Have you
insanity.
Have you started it at least? Have you started?
I haven't. I guess I should, right? Just
Yeah, I
to make
would.
sure
I would. Yeah,
everyone's
just.
okay. But you know, my whole business, the video production side, and you know, everything revolves around events and people. Same. And yeah, I know. Same with you. And you know, I've had my business for 10 years now. I've never had any kind of lull. You know, the calendar is always packed, and to be dormant for 2 weeks, going on probably 2 months.
6 more weeks, definitely. It's crazy.
It's just mind-boggling, and I still haven't processed it. I still can't believe it, but you have to take it one day at a time, and you know, look at the beauty of this moment at the same time. You know, I'm sure all of us are creative in our own ways, and we're probably taking this time to retool our businesses or creating something. You know, we wouldn't have the time to do this, and we're never going to have the time to do this ever again, because when things open back up, it's going to be off to the races.
0 to 100, definitely. Yeah.
So we have to take beauty in this time right now.
Agreed. Hey, Gennaro, how about you, man? I mean, I know you're out every night doing something, whether it's a restaurant review, whether it's something in the city, the serious show, all that stuff. You are, I mean, you're a mover, man. This is your life, is to be out. This must be horrific for you.
I'm totally lost, honestly, because usually, like you said, I'm out doing something. I'm kind of like a chef whisperer, or, you know, whatever, running around with, like, you know, people in the industry, whether it's, you know, helping people like talk about their restaurants, get them on my radio show, just let the public know about what's going on in the food scene. And yeah, I'm totally lost right now, and I don't know what to do, but it's like, you know, things like this keep me calm, because it's terrifying to know that right now, like you said, we're a couple weeks out, or maybe, who knows, a couple months out, the way things are like so devastating, even in Jersey now.
Yeah. How about you, Mangia? Same with you, right?
Yeah, I mean, just looking at the numbers of the people that are being infected. I mean, obviously there's more testing now, but these numbers are going through the roof, and it's scary because my real job is not, you know, I don't do this for a full-time job. I don't eat I look like I eat for a full-time job, but I don't actually eat for a full-time job. I do work outside, and it is scary. I mean, you have to go out now with a mask. They want you to wear gloves, so it changes everything that you know about life. I mean, I don't even know what this could be compared to. I mean, maybe to a certain extent 9/11, but even then, life's got back to, you know,
some sort of normalcy. Yes.
Yeah. Whereas this, I mean, literally, think about the restaurant. Many restaurants are just shutting down because they can't afford to pay their chefs, their servers. So I mean, there's only so much curbside pickup you could do in fine dining.
Andy, don't forget the most important thing: the investors. The investors, they invested in these companies and these missions and these dreams, and now all the dreams are crushed. So now they walk away from these deals. So that's a big time thing too.
Yeah, you're right. It's scary. I mean, it is. This is, like I said, scary. I've never experienced this.
Yeah. Hey, Mike, and you know what's interesting? I had Mike on the show. I don't know, earlier last week. I don't remember when we did that, but with the other chefs and whatnot. And you talked about this had already previously happened to you, losing the business and having to shut it down.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm sure at least a couple of you know that I had to close Pig and Prince back in June, and it wasn't by choice, really. It was a forced closure. We had a lot of issues with the landlord. It was something that I was fighting for years and years and years, and it was something that was taken away from me pretty quickly. So though the circumstances are different, the situation was the same.
Yeah. And you're watching a lot of your friends kind of go through this, and
I'm watching all of them go through it.
Yeah, like in a
all of
time.
them, 100%. I mean, I can't name one other friend that has their business open right now.
But it's interesting, though, the twist about this, because you were talking about the sandwich shop that you have now, is that let's just say you had, I mean, we can play this devil's advocate game, but like, let's just say you had Pig and Prince right now.
I'd be decimated. I wouldn't. Pig and Prince would not reopen. Pig and Prince would not survive this. And here's the reason why. You know, like you said, Jay, was a lot of places have big investors, right? A lot of places have big bankrolls. A lot of places have big backings. Pig and Prince I was by myself. It was all me. That was a huge undertaking. It was a huge endeavor. And when we closed for a snow day, I felt that for weeks. One snow day. When we closed for 2 snow days, I felt that for a month. Restaurants have now been closed for weeks.
Yeah.
Now you're saying April 30th. The reality of it is not going to be April 30th. The reality of it is Memorial Day.
Yeah.
Okay. It's a sad truth to face, but it's the truth. As of right now, and I've had a lot of conversations with a lot of different chefs from all over the state of New Jersey. As it stands right now, it's said that 20% of restaurants that are closed are not going to be able to reopen. And as the weeks go by and as the months go by, that number is going to continuously climb. Okay. And if this ends up going until June, you're going to see almost a 50% death rate in restaurant businesses. 50%.
It's outrageous, man. Yeah.
Mike, I actually have a question for you. What has the relationship been between your restaurateur friends and the landlords?
I think that's a very it's a very one-by-one situation. If you have a landlord like I had, you would be shit out of luck. Because
even now, though, even under these excruciating circumstances,
doesn't matter. A company like Hampshire, Brookfield, those big $100 million, $1 billion, they don't care. They don't care. They're F you, give me my money. They're, they don't care. You're a number, and that's it. Now, if you're fortunate enough to have a family-owned, long-term landlord, a lot more leeway is given, a lot more consideration is being given. I hear on this side, I hear all the wonderful stories. Oh, my landlord is so great. He's on the building for 50 years, and he's telling me I don't have to pay rent for 3 months. On this side, you're hearing this company is putting their hand out because, April 1st is next week, and they just, F you pay me.
It is
so
pretty.
I think, and that's right down the middle. And nowadays, more so to this side where you have big companies that own all these buildings, especially in New Jersey, and New York. New York, it's a little few and far between. You're getting the single landlord, family-owned properties. So there isn't much forgiveness there.
But what's interesting, though, is in your trajectory of opening the sandwich shop, now your business is sort of, I don't want to use the word thriving, but it's doing better than probably if you would have had the Pig and Prince at the same juncture.
I mean, it's 2 completely different businesses. Pig and Prince was a little bit more, mid-level dining to final, like it's calling it fine dining. It wasn't. Passionate was fine dining. My first restaurant. Passionate would be dead. If that restaurant was open, even as small as it was, we worked on such razor thin margins over there because everything was so meticulous that a week close would have killed Passionate. So you have all those really, really small 40-seat restaurants, single, chef owner, small payrolls, small everything, but you got small margins as well. You're dead in the water. Pig and Prince was still, a la carte. We were not geared for to go. And that's one of the biggest things that's happening now is you have all these restaurants that are making real-time changes, knee-jerk real-time changes with 0 staff. Chef, GM, maybe a volunteer. We had 32 employees at Pig and Prince. If you cut that down to what would have been just myself and one other person.
Yeah.
And you think about the expense that goes into it because we're not set up for to go. So you have to buy different vessels. You have to buy different. Everything has to change. You know, the shop, on the other hand, specifically made as a retail store. It's a deli. It's a pasta shop. Everything is made to go. We don't cook the pasta there. We don't serve the pasta there. Everything is just by the pound. So
Right.
that business plan and that makeup was specific in that way. Just happens to fall within the construct of what is allowed right now in regards to essentials.
Yeah. And I'm going to get into the food tour in a second here, but I do want to ask this question, and you guys can all answer it. What is going to happen with the employees of these restaurants? You know, thinking about the wait staff and just the dishwashers and everybody who's sort of dependent on this income. What can they do? Is there anything? Are you hearing anything about that, Gennaro, in the city from your city friends? Yeah.
I could talk about highbrow a little bit. Daniel Hum from 11 Madison Park, you know, he split from Will Guidera, which was his partner, right? So that was supposed to be clean split. He actually opened up a place in London. He went online today to say that he's devastated. He lost all his workers. A lot of his workers were international, so they actually went back to their countries, and he doesn't know if they're going to come back to work for him. So look at it that way. You know, that's a place that charges $500, $600 a meal.
Yeah.
So if they're suffering like that, imagine a mom and pop shop.
Totally. Yeah.
So yeah, I'm hearing a lot of things. I'm hearing a lot of requests, even before like these high-end restaurants and regular people just writing to my producer for SiriusXM because I have the show Roland's Food Court there, which we spoke about. Now we have to change the format of it because we usually have Guy Fieri and Alex Guanacelli on there. It's like now we want to have people like Mike and places that, you know, need the real push and help now. So that's one good thing on my end that I have to plan for, and I'm super excited about that, and that gives me some hope.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, let's jump into talking about our favorite places here in New Jersey to go travel to and eat. And I guess I'll just let you guys just pop them off, and we'll all kind of have an opinion. We'll start with Tony Mangia. I feel like prior to this, you were out at some New Jersey hotspot every single night. But before I jump into you, I would have to have added Pig and Prince on my list of go-tos. You know, through the years when it was around. I think it was a phenomenal restaurant. I think you did an awesome job there. So,
Peter, can I add one thing to that?
Sure.
So obviously we were at the opening. Mike was sweet enough to have men who dine there, and there was nothing like it. He was doing the charcuterie program before anybody was doing it. So like all these James Beard Award winners now, he was doing that before and doing everything by hand and bringing like things from Pennsylvania to build the bar up with like the railings and all that stuff. So that was a really memorable thing in a town that actually he was the cornerstone of that town. So all the buzz that you see happening now started with him. So kudos to that. And that's why my stomach's turning. And I'm sure Anthony feels the same way because we sat at the bar with him. We ate the incredible food. We went into the little room where he was doing all these amazing things and making fresh pasta. So who does that now? Again, all these people that are in Brooklyn that, again, he's all these accolades, but people in Jersey, they have to fight to even get in a record.
And the thing about it too.
So I know all about that. That's why we developed Tip New Jersey, because there's literally no media outlets in the state covering things like that.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, Mike, the building was awesome. So it was not even, the food was great, but the decor and being in that, there was like an old bank or the train station was an old train station.
It was the old Lackawanna train terminal. It was built in 1912, you know. We resurrected it, you know. It lay dormant.
It was killer, man. I mean, it looked awesome inside. And you remember you work with a mutual friend of ours from Fossil Farms, and you were always trying to, you know, do various things like that. So
I just got
first one on the
other day. They got some ostrich eggs from my kids to make Easter eggs out of.
Oh, yeah.
That's awesome.
Happened to be right here.
First on the list for all of us, I'm sure. And I'll let you talk about it, Mangia. The Pig and Prince, definitely.
Absolutely. And just to add to the Pig and Prince, I mean, I've known Mike since Passionné, which was that restaurant was phenomenal. That was definitely one of the best restaurants in New Jersey because you weren't getting French food the way Mike was making French food. I mean, you would get this, you wouldn't know what it was. Mike's food there was
authentic,
top notch.
Thank you.
No, thank you, because you were the one that introduced me to French food.
That's true.
Yeah.
I missed that restaurant dearly.
So you want my
Yeah,
where's the first place I'm going to go when I get out of quarantine?
That's what I'm asking. That's the purpose of this show and this episode. Where are you going at quarantine? And then we'll go around a round of where are people not going that they should be going, and then we'll do like the dirty Jersey favorites like Rutt's Hut and all that kind of stuff. So let's start with you, Anthony. What's the place that you're going to run to as soon as Trump says you can now go out?
I'm gonna have to cut myself in half, and half of me will have to go to Martino's Market in Hackensack. The other half's gonna go to Belmont Tavern in Belleville.
All right, so let's talk about Belmont Tavern.
That's a dirty Jersey place. That is down in dirty Jersey.
Yeah.
That's chicken Savoy all day.
Oh,
Tell me what you love about since you brought it up. Tell me what you love about the Belmont Tavern.
the Belmont Tavern. From the moment when you park in the bank. Oh, I shouldn't say that. I
No,
can't tell you where to
go
park.
for it. No, we're all.
You want me to give you the full? You want me to give you the full experience?
Yeah.
So if you're in the know at the Belmont Tavern, there's a bank on the corner. Park there because you cannot get street parking.
Right.
Park in the when you see all the Maseratis and the Beamers and the Cadillacs in that lot, you know it's safe to park there because nobody's gonna screw your car.
Right.
You park in that lot.
Street, you're gonna walk home in the street.
Yeah, you're right.
Moving forward, yeah.
So from there, you park in the lot. You walk
Okay.
outside. You walk down Bloomfield Ave for a little bit. And on your left-hand side, you're going to see it says Belmont Tavern. In the window stretches Chicken Savoy. So you walk inside, and you literally step back to 1968, 1965.
A couple years ago, it feels like 1973.
For you, really?
They upgraded. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, they're literally they are serving ice cold red wine. Which is like that's like what I grew up drinking was like the ice cold. When I was a little kid, I used to put the little juice cups of wine in the fridge so it gets nice and cold.
Yeah.
So that's like the first thing you get. You have to get a carafe of the ice cold wine.
Definitely.
And then from there, you go shrimp beeps. You go gabardine pot cheese. You want some scungili salad, you get the scungili salad. Then on the entree side, you have to get the chicken Savoy and the pork franchise. Pork franchise is not on the menu. It's a special. But if you ask for specials there, they'll tell you they're all special.
Okay.
Do not ask for the special menu because you ain't gonna get it.
Right.
So and if you want dessert, bring your own. But they do have macchiato, which is the Italian espresso, the macchiato.
What's the woman's name that you're friendly with there? She's a classic.
Annette.
Yeah.
So the story goes. Jimmy owns the bar. Annette owns the restaurant. Annette's stepfather was a guy named Stretch. His name was Carlo. Man, why can't I think of his last name? He's actually a cousin of a cousin of mine. Oh man, I can't think of his last name.
That's everybody. Lisa Marie Latino is a cousin of a cousin. We now call
each other cousins.
We call each other cousins. Yeah. And once in a while, I'll be like, "Hey, cuz, hope everything's going good on Instagram," and somebody in my family will be like, "Wait, how is she related to us?"
Hey, you should have gotten the chicken man to come on tonight.
I know. Yeah. No. Skip. Pass. Anyway, go ahead, buddy. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to.
That's kind of like that's
the Belmont Tavern.
That's the Belmont Tavern.
That's your classic. Your classic old school
Love it.
Jersey joint. Gennaro, how about you?
A new place called Bread and Salt, which is in Jersey City in the Heights.
Okay.
There's a guy named Rick Easton there, and I'm not sure if that many people know about it, but probably the best bread in the New York, New Jersey area. Killer Pizza Bianca. It's just basically he bought an oven. He took over this place that had a garage there. It's right on Palisade there, and basically has 5 guys in there. They're just doing porchetta, bean soup, again Pizza Bianca, sandwiches, and it's just an awesome place that's just simple. And as soon as it opens at 5:00 p.m., you have 40 people outside. That's how badass it is.
That's awesome.
And it's kind of like Raza, but without the hype, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I mean, Raza's definitely got to be on someone's list. You know what I mean?
Raza was on my list, and so there goes that.
No.
Are you in Jersey City? Do you live in Jersey City?
I live in Fort Lee.
Oh, okay, because I live in Jersey City, so that's why
Okay.
I asked. I got to try that place because I've never.
try it.
Yeah,
So,
I haven't
go
been
ahead.
there.
Talk to me about Raza.
I mean, what is there to say that that everybody doesn't know about? I mean, it's the home fresh ingredients, it's the wood burning pizza. Arturo's, I guess they used to own it and then they split, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Owners,
Yes,
yeah.
yes.
I mean, Arturo's is right up there too. That's a spot that my girlfriends and I like to go to. Their caper, they've got the deal with capers, unbelievable. Their pizza, unbelievable. So that'll be my first go-to spot after we all bust out of jail over here.
Eventually, right? Yeah, and then it's funny. I just went to Raza with Leah. You guys, I mean, some of you guys know Leah Gacchione.
Yep.
And we did a whole Jersey City food tour, actually, just the two of us. And we ended at Raza, and I was just fucking. I was like, I wish we would have been here all fucking night. It was just. We did I'll save the other one, but go ahead, Mike. What do you got? Where are you running?
I'm gonna switch cuisines. I want Baton ramen.
Nice.
Up in Fort Lee.
Yeah. One of my favorites too, Mike.
Hole in the wall, but the most authentic around, and just I want that spicy miso, and I want the buta kimchi. That's what I want. That's what I want.
That place is awesome, and it's authentic, and it's
And
like
it's
everything's $10.
Yep. Like this is so much pizza I can eat. Not pasta, forget it. I'm up to here with pasta.
You've got quite a lot of pasta in your life at this point.
Too much pasta, and I try not to. And you know what the weird thing is? I try not to eat gluten.
Right, but
So,
you're diving in. You're diving into gluten every night, probably.
I try not to. I really do. Like when I cook for my kids. I try to cook very plant-based forward. I try not to even eat a lot of meat. But yeah, Baton ramen in Fort Lee. That'll be my my jailbreak.
Yeah. I didn't think about my own answer.
Come on, Peter.
Oh, I would say,
Catch up, man.
You know what? I mean, obviously you talked about Belmont Tavern, but here in Lyndhurst we have Angelo's.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not my jailbreak one because I order takeout from it because I live in town. But Angelo's is very much similar to Belmont Tavern in a way where it's old school. You know, it might feel like 1975 inside there instead of 73. You know, but Monagot, that's just fucking outrageous, and the meatballs and everything. It's like, so that's probably, I probably won't run to there. And like, you know, I've run into you, Mike, a couple of times at Sharkeys in Clifton.
I didn't even think about that. That'd be on my dive list. Yeah.
Yeah, that's my. Let's go to the and I'll think about what place I'm going to run to because that's a tough answer. But what is your dive go to dirty Jersey spot that you can't wait to go to, Lisa Marie?
So I wouldn't consider this place a dive, and it's definitely healthier than what we're all talking about right now.
Yeah.
But have you guys ever heard of Zest in Fairfield?
I have not heard of that. No.
Okay, so it's a gluten-free, dairy-free,
This is
organic.
right up Mike's alley. Yeah.
I'm writing it down right now.
It's on Fairfield Road by the Target, and I'm missing them so much. They make this kale Caesar salad. It is to die for. They marinate it overnight in olive oil. Mm-hmm. They have dairy-free cheese and gluten-free croutons. It is the best freaking salad you'll ever have, and I cannot wait to go back to Fairfields because that's where my office is.
Yeah.
To get that salad, I dream about it every day.
That's awesome. I don't know if that's dirty Jersey though.
Not really. It's very clean Jersey, but it's like a small.
Yeah.
But it's a small mom and pop place, and I really enjoy the people that run it there, and
that's cool.
Wanted to give them a shout out.
What about your dirty Jersey?
Belmont, like I said, Belmont's like that. I don't eat hot dogs, so like when I think of dirty Jersey places, I think of, like you said, Rutt's Hut or like Pizza 46, right?
Okay, there you go. Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, there you go. There's a dirty Jersey place. That's more pizza. So
I know. I guess we're evidently all getting together and going to some pizza place.
Exactly.
Mangia, what do you got? What's your dirty Jersey go-to?
There's probably two places, and they're both hot dog joints. So one's Rutt's Hut, which I'm wearing a hat for, and the other is Jimmy Buff's. Those are two class. I mean, they're kind of different because Jimmy Buff's is the originator of the Italian-style hot dog. Rutt's Hut is just they call him the Ripper because you fry the shit out of it, literally. And I mean, and it is like, you can't put anything on it. I think all it was like you cannot get chili on it unless you get a bowl of chili and you put the chili on that. But they kind of frown on that. So you just pretty much just relish and some mustard. And cheese. They actually have cheese. I didn't even know that.
Well, it's not really cheese. It's whatever it is.
But no, I don't know. Ketchup on a hot dog or no?
No.
But ketchup on an Italian dog? Ketchup on an Italian dog?
Yes, because of potatoes.
That's what I said. And you know, I recently did a show with Jimmy Buff with Tommy, the grandson or the great grandson of the founder.
Nice plug, Ant. Nice. I like how you fucking just. Nobody here yet has plugged fucking anything yet, but boom, Tony Mangia right away.
I know, I give a plug because his family originated the Italian style hot dog. So originally they wouldn't put ketchup on the dog; they would just put mustard inside the roll, and then they would put the hot dog, and then they would put the onions and the peppers, and then they would top it with the sliced potatoes, fried potatoes, and salt and pepper. That's the original way of eating a Italian style hot dog, Newark style.
Now we did a show there too, right? Remember?
Yeah. Oh yeah, well, we did it.
Place.
No, we did it at Tommy's.
The corner place in Elizabeth.
Yeah, Tommy's.
Similar.
Yeah, same style.
That place is badass too.
Oh yeah, and right next door is Jerry's, and Jerry does the dirty water dogs.
Yep.
But Ant, what about Rutt's Hut?
Rutt's Hut, they actually they make a duck. They make a duck there. You wouldn't think like, Rutt's Hut they make duck. Like
never heard of it. Are you kidding me?
You got to go and check it out. Duck and brown sauce.
I don't believe it.
I'm not lying.
Well, I don't think you're lying. Yeah. What
Is it real duck? Like,
yeah, I don't know. I tried it. It tasted pretty good. I don't know.
But the hot dogs at Rutt's are incredible.
Oh yeah. I love a deep fried. That's probably why I'm like 200 and some odd pounds. I like the deep fried hot dogs.
I wonder if they're still open. I wonder if they're open right now. Rutt's Hut.
They are.
Yeah. I mean, of course. Why wouldn't they? They're like they're like coronavirus. Don't matter.
And you could probably eat inside too.
The Ripper is actually the national flower for Jersey.
What is everybody's opinion on hot grill?
Meh.
Nah, I agree.
Men's and men's.
Yeah.
Men's and men's.
Meh.
My favorite dirty water dog is JR's in Belleville.
Where is it?
It's a truck. It's on a Belleville Nutley border. Technically Belleville. JR's. He's been there forever. My father was friends.
Don't worry, Mangia. You can't go. It's probably not open. Is it open?
He's there. He's there. I see him almost every day because I drive by.
I actually went for a dirty water dog the other day. I went to Hank's Frank's. I grew up eating.
Oh, that's
Hank's
a good
Frank's.
one too. I like that one. That's not a bad one for sure.
But see, Jersey equals hot dogs because like literally like the hot dog was like not that it was invented here, but it really was like it was perfected in New Jersey. So you have the Italian style from the Essex County area. You have the Texas Wiener style, which came from Patterson. And it's actually an article written. It's amazing. The article that was written a couple of years ago about the Texas Wiener and how it was started by Greek immigrants because they're like almost like when you eat like the moussaka or the meat.
Yes.
It's the same kind of meat that they use in this. And it's amazing. I can go into it, but I don't want to.
Gee, what's your dirty Jersey spot you're running to?
Right down the block is Hirams, which I love.
Oh yeah.
I just like I like the fact that they don't give a shit. You go in there, you get your stuff, and then you could go sit in the side parking lot there with grass, and it's like international. You have kids there, you have old ladies having hot dogs. You never know who you're gonna meet there. So
yeah,
it's amazing.
Good one.
I do miss because I am a little bit older. I do miss the Callahan's next to it when they used to have like competition, which was more badass. And at that time, when I was probably about 10 or 12 years old, Callahan's ruled. When it came to
totally, man. That's a good.
Because they were Italians too.
But also Callahan's, they opened a bunch of places back like in the 80s. There was one in Little Ferry. There was one in Hasbrook Heights. They were all over.
Yep.
White Mana.
Hackensack all the way.
I go to the Jersey City one. I went to recently. I think I'll run. I would run to that dirty Jersey spot. Yeah.
Well, Jersey City is much more dirty, so if you want to talk about dirty, I don't know. You might have to bring some wipes with you there.
What do you think, Lisa?
Regardless of coronavirus, right?
What do you think of White Monda since you're from Jersey City? Have you been?
Me? No, I actually haven't been. My husband has been. He thought it was
Really?
Yep.
Wow.
yeah,
I love
he
it.
wasn't the biggest fan of that.
Well,
Hackensack.
it's not haute cuisine, you know.
No, right. Yeah.
Yeah. He
What
thought
do
it
you
was
think, Mangia? We've been to a White Monda once, right?
I like the one in Hackensack.
Yeah, you guys. Yeah.
And they actually did the right thing when this whole coronavirus thing came. They actually said we're closing the doors.
Yeah, they have to.
It's too small. They couldn't fit the people in it, and they really. I think that was the right thing for them to do. But that to me, that's one of the best burgers. But if I could give one more plug, Steve's Burgers in Garfield.
Okay.
That's probably hands down best. My vote for best burger in Jersey.
Bobby Flay just shut the feed down. He just got so pissed off at you. My Burger Palace.
I used to work for him.
I know, I'm just kidding. Okay, and then Mike, Sharkeys.
Yeah,
Best wings in New Jersey, yes?
until I open a place. Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, there's Jimmy G's, which is an incredible wing spot, but it's only a one-note thing for me. You know? Go ahead.
I got requirements when it comes to wings. All right. You can't bread them.
Yes.
They got to be naked.
Yes.
Gotta
Always.
they got to be crispy.
Right.
And they can't be drowning.
Right. Yeah.
You know, like I don't want to have wing soup. You know, when I'm picking out wing dings. So like they hit each one of those marks with the wings. You know.
Yeah. Let me ask you, Mike. What's your go-to of the sauces? What's your go-to at Sharkeys?
Hot and Thai chili.
Oof, that's good. I've been playing with
No. Hot and Thai chili, you mix them.
Mix it together, yeah. I've been playing with. They do a Savoy, which is an ode evidently to your spot, Belmont Tavern. They do a Savoy, and I do Savoy hot, which is incredible. Yeah, you have to be into that that vinegar thing.
Yeah.
All right, let's go around the room now and talk about places, maybe newbies, new chefs that are emerging in this area that need some love, that might be going through a lot right now. A place that we can plug that maybe it could be hole in the wall, doesn't have to be newbie, like just opened or anything like that, but a place that's going to need some love when they get back. So let's go. I'll go to Mike for that first, because I feel like you're probably friends with a lot of chefs that are going through a lot of shit right now in Jersey.
Everybody. I know it's true. I'm not going to single anybody out, and I'm not going to forget anybody. It's everybody. One of the things that I've been having conversations with a lot of my friends is this is going to change our industry forever.
Yeah.
This is going to change the way that we think. This is going to change the way that we do business. This is going to change the way that we have our business plan set up. It's definitely going to change the way we look at our plans when it comes to things like this in the future. And if there's anything positive that comes out of this, I feel like it's going to unify the restaurant industry in New Jersey, which has been so fractured for so long, and for good reason. If you think of pretty much every other state in the country, you think of New York, you think of New York City, right? You got Brooklyn right there. If you think of Pennsylvania, you got Philadelphia. Florida, you got Miami. Illinois, you got Chicago, right? So you always have that epicenter, right? We are the most densely populated area in the whole country. This state, because if you think of New York, you have to take New York State into consideration. But when it comes to restaurants, and we don't have that center city.
Yeah, that's true.
New York, Trenton,
Montclair, maybe.
Montclair is dying. Let's call it what it is. Montclair is dying.
Yep.
They don't. It's dying. The town gives no support to the restaurants. They don't care. I will. When I come out with my tell-all, you will.
I feel like we're almost opening it up right now. The tell-all.
You got the can opener like that, and you're like,
you just poured a little shit out. Yeah.
Pandora's box one is not going to open tonight. I'll give you the exclusive on the podcast.
I appreciate that. Yeah.
But I think what needs to happen is that this industry needs to be unified. We need to come together. We need to have a very strategic plan as to if or when something like this happens again, how are we going to support the 100,000 people that are now unemployed because of this? Ani Rotten alone laid off 750 people.
That's crazy, man.
750 people from all their locations.
Mike, you said 700?
750. It's 10 locations. There's 10 affiliated. Now, I'm affiliated with a couple of those Ani Rotten spots. That's a lot of people.
Yeah.
That's one restaurant group. Look at the larger restaurant groups. Landmark, Momo. Everybody.
Crazy.
Nobody's working.
No.
Everybody's collecting unemployment. Some people can't. Let's talk about the elephant in the room. What about the huge fraction of undocumented workers that run our industry? You don't have restaurants if you don't have these people. And what are they doing? They can't go anywhere.
Yeah.
They can't get out.
They gotta hide.
They gotta hide. Literally and hide.
Yeah. And listen, reality is, I don't know where you stand, but the current administration hasn't been flexible with them at all. So there's
with that administration. That's
yeah.
I stand come from an industry that I've been in for 26 years, that I've poured my entire life into.
Right.
I understand and I know what that industry is built on. Right, and it's built on the backs of those types of people.
Totally, man.
And are there some that are better than others? Yeah. Are there some better than other Italian American, Irish Americans?
Sure.
There's people, Italian and Irish people that are pieces of shit too.
Right.
For the most part, it's who you associate with, and who you're starting to. But those people, everybody, it's just we're not earning anything, right? And it's fraction, and everyone feels alone. No one feels like there's any support. Nobody feels like they can go to anyone.
Yeah.
So like I said, and I closed with on the last time.
Yeah, I was going to just go there. Yeah.
Now it's all becomes a mental health thing.
Yeah.
Okay? It's like this is going to damage people so bad. And listen, I've been through some shit, man. And it was years before I even lost Big and Prince. And I know how an industry like this can just wear you down and wear you down and wear you down. And then when you just get the carpet pulled out from underneath you.
Yeah, man.
It's a serious thing. So that's not something that's being talked about. It's very important that people have their benefits and people keep their health insurance and people have money coming in. But it's also really important that, like I said, you just pick up the phone and like, hey man, how you doing? Hey lady, how you doing? Just we got to check on each other, and that's for everybody, not just the industry. That's for everybody.
But man, it's also, this industry has mental health issues in general. You know what I mean? Prior to a pandemic, I started to research a little bit of that to maybe do a documentary on that. I've been in that.
You should. Because before this pandemic, that's an epidemic.
Yeah, and then one of the things that, and I'm gonna bring it back to this thing, but one of the things that triggered some people was when Anthony Bourdain killed himself. You know what I mean? Because people working in the industry are in total shock that this guy who seemingly has the best food job in the world would kill himself. And you could go down that road too, but it definitely affected a lot of the people in the industry.
It affected me.
Yeah,
it makes you think about everything, and you come to a fork in the road, right?
Yeah,
and it could lead you to a good path.
Yeah,
open your eyes to things, awaken you to some things, or it could lead you to a bad path.
Yeah,
which people don't really talk about, where it could be like, well, this guy had it so good and he's gone and I don't have it anywhere near as good. What's the point?
Right.
There's that point. There's that pinhole that you have an opportunity to make a decision, but people are so conflicted that they're making wrong decisions.
Well, and the other thing too, and we'll go back to some places in a second here, but the other thing too is sort of like, even like in our world in film, right, Lisa, like so much of our identity is based on what we do and the events and the dates and the shooting, right? So for the restaurant industry, I feel like so much of their identity is based on that job and what they're doing that day and that schedule and the time and how long, and they spend all their hours kind of invested in the place wherever they're working, if they've switched places or whatever. But when you lose, like we're talking about losing identity in terms of not being able to go to restaurants, but when you lose your identity in terms of being an employee and you don't even have another restaurant to go to because they're all closed, it gets pretty intense very quickly, I think. No?
Absolutely. And especially if you own a restaurant, that restaurant becomes you become the restaurant. You get that taken away. I mean, that's going to affect you on every level, economically, mentally, emotionally, physically, because you're out of that routine. So, the mental health aspect for the restaurant industry and a lot of these industries right now is super important.
Yeah.
And to me, even success doesn't guarantee sustainability. And as Lisa just said, that's like a person getting a stroke. You want to be independent, you want to drive, you want to walk, but something's telling your body that you're not able to do it. And what do you get? You get depressed and you get almost shut off from life. And I think that's the way that restaurant businesses could be in this manner, in this day today.
It's intense, but all right, I'll let Tony Mangia shout somebody out that people need to go to as soon as that maybe we haven't heard about. Name some place that they should go to that maybe somebody hasn't heard about.
Well, I mean, not because he's here, but Mike's pasta shop is awesome.
Oh, it's incredible. Yeah.
Yeah. No,
they can go there right now, by the way. Well, not right now, but tomorrow they can go back and Tuesday. Okay, you're closed on Monday. Okay, sorry.
But also there's a place in Westfield called Farinolio.
Okay.
Awesome. The guy is originally from Tuscany. Him and his wife. His wife's from America. He's from Tuscany. They opened up this phenomenal Tuscan pastry shop. The breads, the focaccia, the scacciata, some of the best I've ever had. So that's one place I would give a shout out to.
Very cool. What about you, G?
A little bit further away, Una Pizza Napoletana. They just opened up in Atlantic Highlands. It's awesome. They have a place also in the city, and the guy's kind of like a pizza Nazi. It's done his way. He doesn't give a shit if you like it or not. Anthony Mangieri basically sets up the dough himself during the daytime. When he runs out, and that's it.
Nice. And
So
you,
it's a really cool spot too.
what about you, Lisa Marie? What do you got?
I'm in Mike's camp. I just can't shout out one location, one restaurant. On Hip, New Jersey, one of the things that we're doing during this quarantine period, we launched a series called Local Love, where local influencers, they're giving us their
By the way, that was the second promo. That was the second plug. That was Lisa Marie plugged out Hip, New Jersey. Boom.
I'll plug out Hip, New Jersey because
I don't mind. I'm just kidding.
No. So we have a campaign right now called Local Love, where area influencers are shouting out their favorite local small businesses in, restaurants, boutiques, hangouts, home decor, made in Jersey products. Because, that's all we can do, right? As a media outlet, just continue to have these small businesses be part of the conversation, make sure that they're not forgotten about. And the cool thing is we've curated people from all over the state. So people from, Westfield are getting love, Jersey City, down the shore. For me, just because I'm so tied into it, I can't just shout out one person, but just keep supporting the people that are in your specific areas because they need it right now.
Peter, can I ask Lisa Marie a question real quick? So now online, you see a lot of people saying, hey, we're suffering in the food industry and hospitality. Where are the influencers? They were there to ask us for free food and free nights out and everything else. And now they've kind of disappeared, and now they're on TikTok and Wick Wack and all those other things, right? So what do you think is going to happen to the food influencers coming up?
That's an interesting concept. I've already seen changes in the event industry. With silent auctions. So many restaurants would donate to silent auctions. Now, in talking to the event planners for my events that are being rescheduled, they're nixing the silent auction component completely because they feel funny asking local businesses for donations. Now is not the time. So maybe you're going to see a shift away from that.
Definitely.
And these food influencers, I think, big businesses are being told right now how you respond and how you treat your employees is going to have ramifications for the next, not year, for the next decade. And I think smaller businesses and brands like these influencers, they have to keep that in mind as well. Because people will take notice. Like, are you just like, gimme, gimme, gimme? Or are you giving back in this time right now? Doesn't have to be monetary, but if you don't have it, of course. But are you giving free shout outs on your Instagram when you wouldn't before? Or are you, doing Zoom interviews like this with your favorite small businesses to, again, just keep the conversation going?
Yeah.
So I think it's just the time to, put your money where your mouth is.
Yeah.
Maybe like the cream of the crop will rise, and then all those other food influencers that really were in it just for themselves, they'll fall flat on their face.
Yeah.
Cool.
Definitely. I'm going to shout out a little Thai place in Boonton, New Jersey that it's called Thai Ping, and I imagine that they were struggling for a long time in Boonton. And I just feel like it's probably a devastating time for them that they can't be open. Totally authentic, really incredible restaurant, and I just think everybody should go and try to support them as soon as if and when they are able to open back up. Go ahead.
What's the name of it?
It's called Thai Ping.
Tai Ping?
Yeah, I think it's the best Thai restaurant in New Jersey. I wanted to circle back with you, Mike, on the changes and whatnot that that you see coming to the restaurant industry in general. You said that you can see that something's going to change, and some of the operational things are going to change. What are your thoughts on that? What do you think are some places that are going to change, and always now that this has happened?
I think change is a product of the willing,
Mm-hmm.
and I think that. And I've been saying it for years. That's something needs to change.
Yeah.
The game needs to change because everything is the same as it's been for the last 150 years, essentially.
Yeah.
Okay. You walk in, you order a meal, you take it. What do I see? My opinion, I see a little bit more unity in those who are willing to unify.
Mm-hmm.
I see a lot more camaraderie. There was always camaraderie on a playful level. I think there's going to be more of a industrial and business camaraderie when it comes to what we're doing. I see a lot more smaller businesses.
Yeah.
I see a lot less 300-seat restaurants, a lot more 40-seat restaurants.
Yeah.
The sad thing is that there's going to be a lot available. The positive thing is that big companies aren't going to buy 40-seat restaurants. Independents are going to buy 40-seat restaurants, and they're going to reopen 40-seat restaurants. So I kind of see that as a surge. I think that ultimately, there's organizations, we won't name names, there's organizations that are said to support restaurants and the restaurant industry, and they don't do shit. Okay?
Yeah.
They raise money, they pay people, they raise money to have fundraisers, to raise more money, to have more fundraisers, to raise more money, to have more fundraisers. Now we are in a crisis, and when we go like this, they go like this.
Yeah.
Right? So it's not about your names on your jacket or the letters next to your names or the tests that you take or any of that shit. It's about when stuff like this happens that we come together and we're able to support each other on every level.
Yeah.
Emotional, financial, physical, every level that there's some sort of support. There needs to be some sort of organization formed. And I know a few people that I've been talking with, and I'm hoping that we can come together via something like this when, like Lisa said, we have the time now. We have the time to work on this. We can come together and we can figure this out. So that when it does come back around, listen, I have this very small business right now. I've had a very big business. I've had a little up and down and all around. And I have my fingers in other pots too that are dead in the water.
Mm.
I would be personally willing to put a little percentage of everything that I have into something that would be there for my associates and my employees if or when this was ever to happen again. My biggest challenge when I closed Pig and Prince was mustering up the courage to tell my employees that we were closing.
Mm.
I took the slings and the arrows and the hits for 5 years. I fought with $1 billion company. I fought with lawyers. I fought with everybody. But when it came to looking my kids in the eye, I call them my kids, they're my family. That was the hardest thing to do, was to tell them that they were going to be unemployed in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
That's tough, man. And that to this day, that still eats me up inside. I did everything I could to place them. I did everything I could to help them. But now we're in a situation where it's everybody is going through this.
Yeah.
At least then I had the opportunity to call up, hey, Buko, I need help. Hey, calling up all my chef friends. Can you use a dishwasher? Can you use a line cook? Can you use a grill cook?
Right.
And I was able to put them off wherever I could. Help them all get jobs.
Yeah.
Can't do it.
No, now there's no opportunity for anybody. It's intense, man.
And even worse so, if I was a young cook, what I would need a phone number or just somebody that I can call and just be like, I don't know what to do. And have somebody on the other line that has 26, 46, 56 years of experience to be like, let's talk this through. Okay? Because that's so important. And that's where I see the change is that we need to have that mentorship. I don't really have a mentor. I never really did. I didn't work for a famous chef. I didn't really care.
Right.
That shit doesn't impress me.
Right.
I made my own way. I did what I did. And there have been a lot of times in my life where I'm like, I just want to talk to somebody, you know? I have my mom, you know, my dad passed away a long time ago. But so it's like, from my experience, there have been so many times in my life where I really wish I had somebody with the experience and the knowledge just to be like, all right, man, let's talk this through.
Yeah.
Here's what I've been through. So that's what I want to do. Here's what I've been through. Okay.
Yeah.
I've built restaurants. I've lost restaurants. I've built new restaurants. I've built little restaurants. I've built big restaurants. I've built great, big, beautiful families. Let's talk about how we're going to get through this. You know?
Yeah.
That's where I see the change happening, because it doesn't exist right now. It really doesn't.
And lastly, I'm going to ask this to Mike. Guys, thank you all for shouting out your favorite spots in Jersey, and it was amazing to visit some of them, and I'm sure we're all excited to kind of go to them as soon as that opportunity comes. I guess, Mike, there's probably people watching this that are resonating with what you're saying, and what advice would you give those employees that are waiting for a opportunity to pop back, or what would you say to somebody from a mentor's role of somebody who's done a lot of different things, somebody who's maybe unemployed right now and doesn't know what the fuck's up, restaurant, non-restaurant?
Right. Appreciate the. Let me just start with saying that all the advice that I can give comes from my experience, most of it from my mistakes. I think that's where the greatest experience is learned, is through mistakes. So what I would say is just appreciate what you have. And think about it. Consider it. You're waking up in the morning, boom, that's a plus. You got air in your lungs. You got, a roof over your head. You got shoes on your feet. Just appreciate the small blessings you have right now. And when you can come to that, then you can face the next thing. Okay?
Yeah.
We're all in the same position right now. So it's just like anything. You can't freak out until there's something to freak out about. And this is very bad. I'm not saying it isn't. This is a bad situation. But it's going to get better. It's eventually going to get better. We don't know how long, but it will. Focus on the positive things in your life. Focus on the positive people in your life. Make some phone calls. Call parents or aunts or uncles or grandparents or kids or whoever makes you feel the most comfortable in your life. Give that person a call and just have a conversation about anything. Food, sports, farts, whatever. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter,
Yeah.
You gotta always keep a sense of humor about things. You always have to try to have a smile and a laugh at some point.
Yeah.
Don't take life too seriously. And just know that there's a lot of people going through the same thing you're going through, and we're gonna make it through. But talk. That's my advice. Talk it out.
Yeah, man.
Come on your mind, say it. Don't hold it. Don't bottle it up. I don't know who said it, but poison is more corrosive to the bottle that is held than anything that it's poured on. So let it out.
Yeah, for sure, man.
Let it out.
All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for this chat. I thought it was awesome. I think we shouted some cool places out, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
it was cool.
Absolutely. It was so nice meeting. Well, I know Tony Mangia, and obviously I know you, Cuz, but
Yeah.
Gennaro and Mike, thank you. It was a pleasure. I hope to see you again soon and see you in
For sure.
person soon.
I
Sure.
think what would be cool is if maybe when we get back on track that us four go out to some smaller places we spoke about and maybe do a little remote
Food
show from there.
Crawl, like a food crawl.
A little crawl, yeah.
Yeah,
idea.
1,000,000%.
It's a great
Listen, guys,
idea.
I've been doing this thing on Facebook where I kind of shout people out and give them some gratitude at the end of the day. Since you guys are all here, I'll say a little something about each of you. Lisa Marie, I want to thank you so much for just like jumping right in and becoming my cousin and helping me when the Price of Fame was happening. And you did a lot of help and a lot of different things for me. So I very much appreciate you. And Tony Mangia, obviously, our years of friendship and whatnot, I strongly appreciate, and we've been through some shit. So you're a good dude. Mike Carrino, thank you for feeding me at your restaurants. I've always treating me like I was someone more important than I actually probably am in the scheme of things. But I appreciate that. And for Gennaro, man, we've had some really good, fun times together and a lot of good laughs. And I don't think I've ever laughed as much with anybody than you. So
Thank you, brother.
just a lot of gratitude to all of you guys in the time where we need it. And thank you guys for doing this thing too.
Cheers.
All right. Have a good one, guys.
Everyone.
Ciao,
Thanks
ciao.
so
Thank
much.
you, guys.
Ciao.
Thank you.
Be
Bye-bye.
careful. Be safe.
Big love.
Yep.
Big love.